Okay, did it work? Hello, everyone. My name is Thomas Sawyer with ThomasSawyer.com. We are doing live cosmic readings and healings. It is a $35 donation, and we have today with us.
Hello, all. Ingrid H. Turner with IngridTurner.com. Thanks again, Thomas. I'm really happy to be here with you, doing the thing, being of service.
Let me just pull this in. These calls. Thank you. Okay, we will be right back, guys. The donation links will be linked shortly if they're not in StreamYard already. So just give us a second. We'll be right back. Share on your end, Ingrid. Ingrid.
Yeah.
Can you share on your end? It restricted me.
Yes, I can. I shared.
Okay. So whatever. We go from here. Let me bring up the PayPal. Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm Thomas Sawyer with ThomasSawyer.com.
I'm Ingrid H.
Go ahead.
Ingrid H. Turner. IngridTurner.com.
And we are live.
We are
hello,
live.
Mr. Michael Sanchez. Putting my website in the comments again. And he's my moderator on TikTok. Okay. Anyway, so let's see. Let's see what we got going on here.
What do we got going on? Readings time.
Logging in, $35 donation, guys. Let's have to log into my PayPal again. Oh, you're gonna do that again? Okay, hold on. I thought that wouldn't happen. Okay, thank you.
Oh God, it's making you do the whole rigmarole, huh?
Yes, because I gotta.
What are you doing?
Just need to get this in. Boom. There we go. Back on. And let's see. Let's reset this. Let's give people time to come in. Guys, we still have openings available. And And yeah, so guys, if you would like a reading, it's $35 donation is linked on Facebook and StreamYard. We'll be doing healings and readings. And yeah, so we don't have anyone donated yet, but I'm gonna.
So I just have to say, I don't know if you can see this, but like, there's like little bunny ears coming up from the runes behind your head, and it's good, like little horns. That's great.
Yeah.
You're rocking it. Why don't you take a minute and explain to people what those are behind you? I think that'd be really
I
interesting.
do
for
not
people
want to tell
understand.
people about anything in my room.
Oh, okay. Nobody gets to know then.
No, they can
Okay.
guess.
Leave it a mystery.
Yeah. So we
cool
can start out. I'm just going to check PayPal again. Do you want to talk about anything that you're doing, Miss Ingrid?
You know what I think would be a really interesting thing to share about is spirit guides. I get a lot of questions about spirit guides and people wanting to meet their spirit guides and understand their spirit guides. And I have like kind of my own understanding of what spirit has given to me about spirit guides specifically. And I'm sure you do as well. And I think it's a point of real curiosity. Do you want to kick off? Do you want to talk about your spirit guides or like what your understanding of spirit guides and what the heck they are and how to find them?
Well, for me, I started out with one many years ago. He's in the Bible. His name was Gideon, first priest of God. Anyways, in the Old Testament, Genesis, I think. And then other ones appeared along the way. I worked with Thoth for a while. He still wants to work with me, I hear. And I have a bunch of them. They say I don't listen to them a lot. But and Anubis is always around me. I like Anubis. I don't know. I think he gets a bad rap.
I like Anubis too.
Yeah, I think he gets a bad rap. Yeah, so I talk to them and I help clients connect with them. So I guess it depends what you want a spirit guide to be, is what I'm hearing.
What does that mean? Can you elaborate on that?
So, like, what do you need? I mean, you can make a tree a spirit guide.
Right.
And that form of that tree, if we lived 1,000 years ago, that very essence of what a spirit guide is would be a totally different definition. We wouldn't have all these things written down from other cultures. We would essentially have nature or whatever deities we were in that lifetime around. If that makes sense.
Totally. Yeah. It's like it's a good way of putting, like the way I put it too is like I call my spirit guide's name is Mons. I haven't found him anywhere. It's just something that appeared to me. And what I've come to understand over the years is the spirit guide is like my user-friendly interface with the divine. So as a human in a physical body with my limited capacity and like my mind, because we're here for such a focused, like intensely physical experience, we're not capable of understanding creation and God. Not really. We're not really capable of grokking it. And so we like even a tree or an animal or anything can be a spirit guide. It's whatever form the divine needs to condense itself into so that we can interface with it, so we can interact with it. And I also feel like, I think that like I feel like spirit really leverages my psychology when it creates this divine entity, this divine being. I'm not saying that this being isn't real, but it's also not real. It's kind of real and it's not real. It's a part of divine spirit, but it's like an avatar, for me to interface with because I don't have the capability to go that vast. Is what it feels like to me.
And every time I goes directly to source, like I see it as a big ball of energy.
I see it as a big sparkly dust cloud, constantly expanding.
Well, if I get near it and try to talk to it, usually I can last about 5-10 minutes before I knock myself out. Because I keep testing it. Like I want to talk to you, source, directly, face to face, mofo. And I go up there and then I get knocked out.
I feel like we're here for this super hyper focused human experience, and that's okay. And when we die, when we leave our body, we go through a process of like integration is the way that I understand it. Like we're kind of integrating our whole life. And then we just merge back into that great big all. But there's an experience of separation that is happening here. And that's why we so often have spirit guides, or what we perceive to be spirit guides, because it's a continuation of that experience of separation. It's not really separation, but it's an experience of separation.
Yeah. But we're never really separated. I think we're still up there all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
Or like not a version, but a connection.
Yeah, like there's a piece of us that is that. Well, that's why you and I say you are God. That's why we channel that message. You are God. You are God. You are God. You, Thomas, are God. You, Ingrid, are God. It's because we can sense that lack of separation, that oneness, that totality of existing across all time and space and whatever it really is. But then when we're hanging out in the human realm, going and paying our taxes and going to work and doing all the things, we're having this really like super hallucinogenic experience of being a separate entity entirely.
No, I think it's part of the play I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Dolores Cannon says that. So she says that essentially when you realize when you die, everything is a play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone served a purpose in that play.
Yeah.
And hearing the entire human collective.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's. I mean, a great book that I tell people to read all the time is Destiny of Souls.
Who's that by?
Psychiatrist. Have you read that?
No. Who's that by?
I think it's shit. Maybe Michael Newton. I'm not sure.
Hang on, I'll Google it right now. We'll find out.
But he put people in past life regression. He didn't believe it even worked, but he found like people with wounds that they had phantom pains, and they would go relive some lifetime, and it would go away. So he kept pushing it, and then people started discovering like councils on the other side they would talk to when they die.
Yeah, it is Michael Newton, by the way.
Yeah, and then choosing lifetimes. It's probably one of the first books that really resonated with me. And millions of people do his form of healing all over the world. And the people that go under this hypnosis or whatever it is all say the exact same thing.
Right. And Dolores Cannon had that experience on the other side. She took people into hypnosis. They all said the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like.
So we know what's up.
Yeah, this is like a restructuring process of like the spirit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, we still have openings. $35 donation. If anyone is interested.
Yeah, and if you have things you want to hear us talk about and explain more about in this arena, let us know in the comments. We'll be happy to talk about it. I think we have a lot of things we know and experience in the spiritual realm that we forget to talk about. So it's nice to have a prompt to have questions asked.
I'm actually going to see if it lets me share this out more now.
Oh, is it doing it?
I think it's letting me know.
Okay.
Let's see. As more people come in.
Readings.
That's good. Goodbye. And yeah, so we still have. I don't know. Do you just want to? I can't see any comments. I don't think.
I've been tracking the Facebook page, the Facebook feed. I haven't seen. I see. Hello, everybody. Hey, Michael. Carol shared. Thank you so much. Hey, Kay from Aussieland. Okay, Amanda has a question. I've been hearing so many different numbers relating to the age of the Earth. Thoughts? Oh, that's interesting. Faye says, how much is $35 now? Biden has screwed your economy. It's $35. I've been here, but age of the Earth. Age of the Earth. I don't know. Do you have any hits on that? What the age of the Earth is?
Yeah, but Faye, you just click into the, I don't know what euros to British pounds is when it converts. You just click the PayPal link. It's in the StreamYard as well as pinned in the Facebook comments.
Oh yeah, it'll convert it for you.
Convert it for you, brother. Or ma'am, sorry. I'm just looking at pictures. So many different numbers relating to the age of the earth. You know, I'm a bit rebellious, Ingrid. So
shoot, let's do it.
I've had thoughts on these angel numbers. I don't know if they're all made up, but maybe they're not.
The angel numbers?
Yeah, I mean, there's 10,000 of them.
Yeah.
I feel that if anyone's looking for patterns, they will keep finding the same patterns. Mm-hmm. In anything they do. So they serve a purpose. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying that when you find a pattern your brain recognizes as a pattern, psychologically, you're going to search for more patterns. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, you're going to see repeating 3s everywhere and 4s and 5s and 7s. But what I'm hearing is, what do you do with that?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you can see those things and those messages your guides can give you, or you can get from the divine, or however you want to look at that. But at the same time, what are you doing with that information? How are you applying that into your life? Because they're not going to make you do anything. If that makes, yeah, that should make sense.
Yeah. I have this story. It's not exactly an angel number, but it's that kind of thing when you're looking at angel numbers and looking for angel numbers for like confirmation about what you're doing and whether you're on the right path. And I think that's what people use angel numbers for a lot, is to help get outside confirmation of what they already know inside. And I think that's really useful, because none of us need outside validation, but we sure do like outside validation, because we're all conditioned out of trusting ourselves. So while we're learning how to trust ourselves again, it's really valuable to see those patterns in existence and to have that confirmation, that validation, and move forward on that. But I have noticed, like, okay, so if you're consciously looking for angel numbers and the like, you're going to find it. Like you said, the mind is searching for that. My favorite thing, my favorite story is, so as an Aries sun sign, rams are my thing, right? So a ram is an Aries sun sign. I was looking for a campsite a couple months ago, and I was in a really weird place that night. I was just feeling like anxious and tense and just stressed. I was just not in a good place energetically. And I found this campsite and I went in, and I had a hell of a time at that campsite. I got totally harassed by some dudes that were there, and it was just such a pain in the ass, right? And my energy just was absolutely conducive to that kind of harassment. I mean, I woke up to people just like hanging out in my campsite. It was terrible. So I got up and I kind of shooed them out and got them on. And then I went, okay, I have to recalibrate. I have to fix my energy. So I went out and I was on this lake, and I went out and I breathed and I said a prayer and I opened up the spirit. I said, okay, God, I'm ready to recalibrate, bring me back into center. I'm getting back into alignment. So then I packed up, I got my car, and I left. And I went around this turn exiting the campsite, and I had come into that turn the day before. But this time when I looked over to the side, there was this wooden sculpture, and it was 3 rams' heads. The wooden sculptures, 3 heads of the ram, right? Ram, Aries sunset. And I looked at it, and I had not seen that at all. I had no idea it was there the day before. It just didn't even enter my consciousness until I realigned with spirit. And then I was able to see something that was meaningful to me. That was a symbol for me personally because of the number 3 and the ram's heads. So that's where I think angel numbers are really powerful. It's and that kind of a thing, like those kind of signs of synchronicities, is it's to kind of like when you're really lined up and aligned. I think you're going to see that. You're going to see more of that. It's going to give you a certain feeling, it's going to give you a certain feeling of like hope and connection and faith. And that feels really good. But I think that what you're saying is really valid as well. It's like, we have to be aware of like the way the mind had like the psychological factors at play too. It's very easy to make something divine that's not divine, that's maybe psychological and just sort of part of the human experience.
And people will try sometimes to destroy your faith.
Yeah,
it's like a comment I saw today about God or something, and they were like, don't let anyone destroy your faith in God. And someone wrote underneath that something about Christianity, and I wrote underneath that being rebellious. Well, there's millions of ways to God, which there are. So your way may be one way, and then that way another way. Whoever wrote that's way is that way. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of looking at it and trying to figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
I mean, that tree is a way to God,
Back to trees. Trees are a way to God, folks.
and
They are.
so the rock can be a way to God.
And
It's you,
everything, everything, every religion, every spiritual path shares the same thread of faith. It's the same damn message, the same thing at the core of every spiritual path. It's just the dressing, the wrapping paper that suits us. That's, if that wrapping paper suits you, if you like that color, if you like it shiny, if you like a bow, whatever it is you like, you go for that. The inside of the box is the same for everybody. Stop fighting over the wrapping paper.
yeah, because there's a million different ways to do it. It's just a matter of what works for you.
Yeah.
Living here, I've come across magic practitioners, people that work with Osiris, African deities, all kinds of different people. I don't judge their path. I don't really have an opinion on it either way,
Yeah.
because that's their path.
Yeah.
Who am I to say they're wrong or right? I mean, it's right for them, so I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I can't let my own judgment get in the way of that.
No, absolutely not. So Amanda's clarifying her question. She says, I guess I'm just interested in history and geology of our fair planet and our development. So she wasn't really talking about angel numbers. She wanted to know how old we thought the planet was.
Well, I remember in an incarnation that I came here with a bunch of people and helped destroy the world. Because those guys up there kicked us into human bodies, and we were wild with power, not knowing what we were doing. So the Earth's been destroyed many times. I think as humans, isn't this thing is kind of negative way to say it, but whatever. Um, I think as humans, we don't realize how fragile our existence is.
Yeah.
We'll literally be wiped away with a tidal wave at any second. It's happened many times in here. Or an earthquake or whatever, but we still survive in some capacity. That's why we keep coming back.
Humans are fragile but tenacious.
Yeah.
Hey, we got another question. Rosetta is asking, Akashic Records, how to know the info downloaded is right, and can you explain the 011100, which are a coded message? I think that's two questions there. Akashic Records. Maybe attack that one first. What do you know about the Akashic Records?
I go there. I think certain people have limited access. Well, I can just go by what Edgar Casey says I'm hearing. It's a more concrete definition. So literally it's the records of everything that have existed or will exist. And not everything can be seen. I'm channeling.
Mm-hmm.
By everyone at certain times. You have to get to a certain point of spiritual development or inner development, redirection of that statement, to see certain things and have it opened within you. But as Edgar Casey says, there will be a physical manifestation. There is a physical manifestation of the Akashic Records on Earth. He named where it was. And it will be eventually available to all people.
Yeah. I like that. I don't really work with Akashic Records specifically, but I do feel like what I'm getting from spirits, of course you pull from the Akashic Records. You're just not really cognizant that you're doing it. Whatever you're kind of pulling down is coming from that source of what we call the Akashic Records. And what I say is, when people ask me, how do I know if it's like my intuition, if what I'm receiving is real, or if I'm making it up in my head, what I say is, if you have strong emotion attached to what you're receiving, you're in the way. If you receive something, a download, like an image or intuitive information, and you don't have a big emotional upheaval around it, that's your intuition. If you're kind of detached from it, that's your intuition sharing. Yeah. That you're connected to source. But be really careful. Even people who are very intuitive, if they get emotionally invested in what they're downloading, that can be very damaging because you're in the way at that point. You are projecting. Even if you have some intuitive information in there, if you're emotionally involved, you are projecting, which is why we say, like, don't read for family members and, you know, like
Yeah.
to kind of stay out of it. You have to be objective. You have to kind of objectify whatever it is you're reading about. And that's why reading for yourself can be really hard, because it's very hard for us to like detach. And that's why, you know, Thomas and well, okay, I can't speak for you. No, I can't speak. I think I can't speak for you. Like, I go to other people when I need intuitive insight. Like, if it's something that I can't get myself out of the way for, I admit that to myself. And I go to other people. I'll go to Thomas, or I'll go to someone who I trust, who it's like, okay, I need you to take a look at this for me, because I'm like this close to it. So that's how you know if that's information that you're getting is accurate, so to speak, is if you're emotionally invested or not. If you don't have a big, strong emotional reaction, you're more detached, it's a good bet that you're receiving a download.
And on one area that I think that we've been so stuck in certain ideologies and ways of thinking about spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
It's making me look at spirituality from more of a child's perspective. Because what is there to discover that hasn't been discovered? Or to understand spiritually? Like, there's got to be other ways to do things, and this is the way change happens. There has to be, like, an inventor has to come in and invent something, or someone has to change something. It's like, you wouldn't believe that Wi-Fi waves existed or radio waves existed before they were found.
Right.
Or they could be admitted, or whatever you want to say that.
Yeah. We have another question. Carol, she says, I'm learning to be QHHT practitioner. What were you saying about Dolores Cannon? We were just mentioning that she did the QHHT work, and that she came up with, like, those hundreds and hundreds of people that she took in through her work all said the same thing about the afterlife. And you were talking about that, Thomas, if you want to talk about
that. Was
that.
Michael Newton. But with
Dolores Cannon as well, right?
I don't know if Dolores Cannon has QHHT is a bit different. I've had it done on me a few times.
Yeah.
I do something similar, they're saying, but I don't use hypnosis.
Yeah.
They're saying it's just different ways of doing things. But QHHT can be good because it can get into the subconscious mind, but it's just a question of what you need to see. I don't know QHHT that well. I mean, I've had it done on me a few times.
Yeah, I've never had any. I don't have any experience with it at all.
Yeah, I've had it done a few times, but it's I don't know. It's just easier for me not to hypnotize people to do that.
Yeah.
Just to bridge a doorway to where their higher self wants them to go.
And when you talk about that, that sounds a bit like theta healing. I've had an experience with theta healing that was really profound, and it felt like that, where I was kind of taken to.
Like, yeah, essentially, I can't say my process they're saying, but I get them in a place where they choose this destination. Their higher self's going to bring them into this realm of consciousness, angelic realm. Sometimes they wind up in a spaceship or wherever they wind up. But then whoever I need to come through can come through. So it could be Arcturians, it could be their relatives, it could be Vikings, it could be old gods. It really works for just about anything. I could teach mediumship with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they see a glimpse where it's like if someone died and you go see a medium, they're channeling the messages for you. But if you can actually see the person face to face, that's a whole nother level of understanding.
Yeah. And you know what just came to me when you're saying that is not everybody's ready for that. Sometimes we need a go-between.
Yeah.
Like, we need a channel. Yeah. And you're bringing it back to, like, you're bringing it back to what we were talking about at the beginning, which is when we just started riffing about spirit guides, is you are getting exactly what you need right in this moment and how you need it. Divine Spirit is coming through in whatever form is going to work for you, is going to give you the message, the directive most concretely. When I do readings for people, I've had experiences where a lot of times when I do readings, one-on-one readings, I'll just riff, I'll just channel, and I'll just bring through spirit as it comes through. But I've had experiences where I could not get anything to come through until I started pulling cards for that person. And when I started pulling cards, it all came through. But what I realized, what was shared with me is like that person needed something tangible. They needed cards. They needed to like see that in order to receive the message and believe the message and integrate the message. So it's not about us. It's not about like what we bring through or how we bring through. It's about you. It's about the person receiving it. Our job is unglamorous. It's to get out of the way.
Yeah. For them to see what they need to see.
To see what they need to see, experience it, how they need to experience it. So when I do readings, I always have cards handy because I never know if I'm going to need them, because that's the way it needs to come through for the person sitting in front of me.
Because usually like I have them, but I don't pull them out that much for clients. Because I usually just ask, what do you like? Why are you here? But what is it that you need? Why did you schedule the session? Then it's going to all start coming out. And then from there, I can just start channeling the answers to what they need.
Yeah. That's
or
interesting.
do the healings
I do it the other way. That's interesting, because when I do readings, Spirit says to me, don't let them talk until I talk. Essentially, Spirit's like, I'm giving them the message that they need, and then they can talk about whatever they want. But every time I've done it the other way around, where it's like, okay, tell me why you're here, tell me what you need, then like I get blocked. The Spirit doesn't want to come through. It's just this game that Spirit has played with me from the beginning. So I'll just be like, okay, don't tell me anything. And I'll just go and riff. And most of the time, like, it makes a lot of sense to people. Sometimes in readings, people will be like, huh? But it always comes clear like weeks or months down the line. It's like, oh, that's why I needed to hear that. Yeah.
Well, it's a lot to it too, because I think it just matters also what works for us.
Yeah.
A lot of times I've found that I'm looking, and guys, we still have openings. It's $35 cosmic readings and healings.
Wait, you're reading for you right now.
Yeah, we got one up. Okay, I was looking at Matthew. Hello, Matthew. So it just whatever works for you.
Yeah.
So it's like if I were to do a house clearing, I may not look at what exactly I'm dealing with. I do this a lot with negative or lower vibrational energy work. I just know I can take care of it.
Yeah.
So I just take care of it and go about my business.
Yeah.
So, clean out my room, and then like, okay, who's next? But that's just kind of how I think, though.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. It sounds disassociative, but it's not, because I'm doing my job.
Well, no, because look what you're describing. You're describing what we were talking about, like when you're receiving information, when you're receiving directly from Spirit. It's very objective when you're clear. You're just bopping along doing your thing without any attachment to it. And you're sitting here, you're not going into people's houses going, getting all dramatic about it. You're just going in, clearing it out and moving on, because you're fully trusting Spirit to come through you and do that work through you. And you're not attached to it. You don't have drama involved.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do have a reading up.
Oh, hallelujah. Who we got?
Let me just double check. You said payment was sent.
Okay.
Yeah, so first up we have Amanda Ingalls, and I believe she has her comment in StreamYard.
She has a question. Yeah, I see it here. Did you find it?
Yes, it's on the screen.
It is? Oh,
yeah,
there it is.
It showed up.
I found it. I see it now. Okay, do you want me to tune in first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Amanda. Caution to the wind. I like it, girl. Taking a road trip, California from Seattle, spend the night in Shasta. Ooh. Okay, so 2 cards popped out, and I'll pull some more cards. Memorial for ex-husband. Trip looking good. Yeah, trip looking very good, honey. You got the Ace of Pentacles, and you have the Page of Cups. So these 2 cards, interesting. I put the Ace of Pentacles in it when it landed face down. Here's what I'm getting for you. This trip is an opportunity for you to plant some new seeds for your life. You will not see them come to fruition immediately. You will not see, the Spirit is saying, you will not see these new seeds begin to grow and sprout immediately. They need time in the soil to germinate. But you are planting new seeds as you go on this journey. It's about inner seeds. I feel energy in the power center. I feel in the heart. I feel more self-confidence, more heart space, more heart opening. When I feel that heart opening, that's about stepping into your authentic self, into like your destiny, if you want to call it that, your purpose. Now, when we think about life purpose, a lot of times we think about, what am I here to do? But it's not really about doing. It's about the essence you're here to emit, who you're here to be. And by being fully that human and that energy that is most authentic, aligned, and joy-filled for you, that is how you do your sacred work in the world. And the Page of Cups here is like, you're going to be meeting people, you're going to be making connections, and they're going to be really sweet connections. Some of them will last a long time, some of them will be permanent, and you won't know which is what until down the line, because your seeds are being planted and they're not sprouting yet. We have the Two of Cups here. So you're going to really make some friends. You're going to make some friends. You're going to make some really good, strong connections and build relationships on this journey. But again, I'm hearing from Spirit. What I'm hearing from Spirit is sometimes the most profound relationships of our lifetime last a moment. You know, it's like a moment meeting or an evening you spend with a person, you never see them again, but you have a profound effect on each other. And this is not just people having an effect on you, but you having an effect on people. This is a really great trip for you. We have the Magician card here. So you're really going to come to understand your skill set, what the tools at your disposal, that you're able to put your life together in the way that you want to put your life together. I feel like you've been living like the way that the Spirit is showing me the way your life has felt to you is like, I'm seeing the earth and all the different continents spread out. And there was a time when they were all together. Was that Pangea or something?
Yeah.
Like when they were all together. And you've been like living in this kind of spread out way that feels disjointed, but all the continents that make up you are going to come together and fit together like a perfect puzzle piece. And this trip is really profound. And that's why you were called to get this reading, because you're receiving these messages and this confirmation for you. Because I feel like on some level, you know this trip is starting to bring those pieces together. It's like the first, like planting that seed. And you may never be able to put together the exact pathway that it all happened from here to there, but that's okay. You can just trust that this is absolutely what you need to be doing. Stay present, stay in the moment, have fun, enjoy the journey, find the joy in everything, and don't let fear get the better of you. All right. Fear will come up because you're human, and humans are scared little creatures a lot of the time, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Don't let fear get the better of you. Okay. That's what I got. Over to you, Thomas.
You had a past lifetime there. You visited there, I'm hearing. So there's soul fractals.
Oh.
One thing I do as a healer is that when I bring back soul fractals, but you don't need me to do that in this, because by you actually visiting that, you're going to bring back, you stashed some of them there. So another lifetime, you stashed, it's hard to explain, but it's like little pieces. It's not actually like your soul, but they're like little pieces of you from another lifetime, or bigger pieces, I'm hearing. But by going there, they're going to integrate back into you, which are going to bring other people, as Ingrid said, into your awareness, which is literally going to open up like Pandora's box, they're saying. Not in a bad way, though. But opening up that so you can move into the energy of what is next for you. And it's going to bring in those soul fragments from other people as well. So a lot of times they talk about twin flames, Amanda. So people romanticize this thing a little too much. Still, these people, sometimes a twin flame is essentially you meeting somebody that's your twin, and an energetic exchange happens. I'm getting it's more of a soulmate thing, but still these soulmates from your soul group, you're going to meet at least one or two of them. So you have this soul group you incarnate with over and over again. But one or two of those people are going to come across your path, and you may have permanent like communication for a long time, I'm hearing, with one of them, maybe two.
Yeah.
But they hold energy as well. And by meeting those people, that energy is going to become exchanged again. And they wish, what is it? Angels. Okay. So they wish to give you an angel. So let's see who do we need? Just bring it in. So you're going to feel this behind you. You're already going to feel the back of your back heating up. because I'm feeling it. And Amanda, say I accept in your head. They're going to bring you an angel to help guide you. You may not see him, they're saying, but he'll be there all the same. Now, just like that. And also, Lemuria is underneath. Lemurians are underneath Mount Shasta. So they're in like chambers. If I understand right, Mount Shasta may actually be the center point, like Tibet used to be, of the world now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So I went to Mount Shasta with my partner a couple of years ago for the first time. I live really close, or I have been living really close, and I hadn't been there. And when we started driving up to the mountain, I don't know a lot about that sort of what's inside the mountain. I hadn't read anything about it. And I looked at that mountain and said, that mountain's hollow. That mountain is hollow. Yeah. There's people in there. So I really, really felt that. And the other thing that, if you're familiar with Mahavatar Babaji, are you familiar with Babaji? Mahavatar Babaji. So Mahavatar Babaji is like he's over 2,000 years old. There's stories of him and Jesus hooking up and, you know, doing their things, doing their little like spiritual dance together and communicating, connecting. The legend is, if you will, that he reached enlightenment at age 17 and stopped aging and now lives in the Himalayas. And people have really perfect, including me, profound experiences with Mahavatar Babaji, where he visits them and he visited Yogananda when he came to the West. He visited Yogananda's gurus, and he comes in and like he's this really like kind of supreme being, but he's still in a body. You know, he's still in a physical body. He's not aging. And what I was told is in 2053, he's supposed to be at Mount Shasta because it's such a special place. He's going to reappear to the world at Mount Shasta. How cool is that?
Makes sense. Yeah. Look it up. It's like Saint Germain.
Right.
There's all kinds of histories of Saint Germain that exist.
Oh, Amanda says she's heard of Babaji. Okay, yeah. So check Babaji out, Amanda, because that's something for you. There's some, and then she says her great aunt Carol was a Saint Germain devotee. This is so cool. I love this kind of stuff. I love getting like validations and affirmations like this and hearing how these readings connect with people. So keep it up, you guys. That's very cool.
Well, thank you, Amanda, for being here.
Thank you, Amanda.
Next up, we have Starshine. We still have openings guides, 30 guides. It's a $35 donation. Next up, we have Starshine.
Starshine? That makes me really happy. Starshine. Okay. All right, Starshine. I'm going to go first.
Yes.
Feeling into your energy. Beautiful. Okay, my sweet. I'm feeling energy in the throat chakra. I'm feeling some clogging in the throat chakra. And I pulled these cards, and I'll tell you what the story is here. The story is, darling, you got so much like personal power. And I hear the word brand for some reason, like you've got a brand or you have the capability of a brand. So think about people who like their personal brand is themselves. And what's popping into my head is things like, you know, the Kardashians or whatever, you know, like your humanity, yourself is your brand. That's the kind of impact that you have, the kind of power that you possess, the kind of, you know, essence that you're here to emit is a really strong brand of yourself. But you have so much like worry and anxiety and second guessing and just a lot of like stuff going around. I feel like you've had, I just feel like you've got the message somewhere along the way that, ooh, it's like it's like an energy of like, don't be too much. But it's also really slippery. So I feel like there's kind of maybe some multiple stuff going on here. Multiple things going on here. There's an energy that's like, you keep trying to dumb yourself down, keep trying to contain yourself. This incredibly powerful brand of yours. I just keep hearing the word brand. I hope that makes sense to you. And Spirit is saying, okay, stop. Your words have power. You have power to create your own reality. You have power to I just feel a very powerful speaking voice, very powerful communication. Now, the throat chakra is about communication. It's not just about speaking. It's all the ways we communicate, even how we communicate with our energy. Okay. So one of the things that you need to do is let go of any burdens or responsibilities that you're carrying that are not yours. Like, stop that, Spirit says. What that means is like even like emotional responsibility that you're carrying for other people. You can't keep that up, okay? It's keeping you small. It's a way that you self-sabotage and dumb yourself down. It's by taking on the responsibility, other people's responsibilities. It is theirs to handle. And you do it because you think nobody will get it done unless you do it, or you just do it habitually by taking on the emotional responsibilities. You need to cut that out. That is not only going to be good for you, it's going to be good for the other people too. The people whose responsibility you're taking on. It does them no good for you to handle their shit. Okay. This is emotional and this is physical. And I feel like you have both running. Okay. It's time for you to start being honest. It's time for you to start being honest with your perception, with what you're seeing and what you're thinking. And stop worrying about what people think about you and stop worrying about how you might be perceived. You're going to be perceived however people perceive you, and that is not your problem. You are who you are. Your brand precedes you. And it's just, you're just going to have to trust in that brand, which is your energy. You're going to have to trust in it and let it rock the world. Okay. You have to show up honestly and authentically and cleanly and clearly. And when you do that, you're going to step into a leadership position and people will follow you, is what I'm getting. People will follow you, honey, but they're not going to do it while you're keeping yourself small through taking on responsibilities and burdens that are not yours, through worrying about what people think of you, and through keeping your voice mute and not being bloody honest about what you're seeing and what you're perceiving. The first bit of breaking out of this kind of like box that you've got yourself confined in, this first bit of breaking out, is going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be messy. People aren't going to like it. People who have, it's worked very well for you to be nice and tightly contained and not making too much noise, are going to have feelings about you busting out of that box. Bust out of it anyway. Okay. You are a leader. You are a leader. You are a leader. You cannot control your brand. You cannot control how people perceive you. It doesn't matter how they perceive you. Some people will perceive you negatively. They're not your people. Show up as fully and honestly as you are capable of, and then your people will find you. Things will calm down. Your brand and your sense of self will line up beautifully. It will take a little time, but you have to start. Spirit is saying you have to start.
So I keep seeing Till Swan. I have my thoughts about her, but lately I don't even really care because she does what she does and it helps people. Not saying, you know, whatever works for whatever person. Anyways, but the thing is, that's what I'm seeing is Till Swan.
Yeah.
That woman built a fucking empire. But she had confirmation as my phone goes off.
Yeah.
But she had to start small. She had to start somewhere. So I'm reiterating the same message, but they're saying, do you understand how much help you have from up there? There's all these beings I'm seeing up there. It's like a circle of beings, massive circle, they're saying. But they're willing, when you start to be seen, even though this is not your way of doing things, I'm hearing is like what I would do is kick the door down and walk through it. That people, as Ingrid said, because it's been happening probably to me and Ingrid for a while. I'm on camera a lot though. So people don't like me and some people like me and whatever. I don't care. Because it's not, they're not the ones on camera. They're not, it's up to you what you feel about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to have to, they say, getting back to it. So you have to, what I'm seeing is you maybe starting some kind of group where you start like in person. They say not on the internet, in person with a couple of people. You may be surprised by how they react to you. So if I went to the beach today, Sarah, this is Sarah, right?
No, this is Starshine.
Sorry, channeling. So, Starshine, if I went to the beach, like I went to the beach today, the amount of people that were staring at me is indicative of my energy.
Yeah.
They don't know why, but they sense energy. They sense presence, I'm hearing. They see something that they may want or whatever lacking. I don't know. I'm a human. Point is that the same thing will happen with you as they will sense truth is what I'm hearing. So you need to start by making something. Even if I'm seeing a park for some reason. So even if it's a park, like just a standard meetup group, find something in your area. Even if it kind of defies the norms of your area. You know, you can always make it where it sounds good to everybody. What looks at it.
You could.
You have to meet people where they're at. So if I see a client that's a Christian, I have to know I have to go with that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Totally.
you have to make it digestible for everyone. But I'm hearing it's not as complicated as you're thinking in your head right now. Because it's not. It's just a matter of putting it out there and seeing what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rome was not built in a day.
Yeah.
It took a long time. They haven't trying to have me cuss. It took a long time to build that. So it's essentially getting out there and making that effort and manifesting it too. I do offer that as a service, Starshine, if you're interested, ThomasSawyer.com. But the point is that I teach people how to manifest it. But you can do it yourself. Just start it, they're saying. We are co-creators of our reality. So we can make our reality however we want to make it. And sometimes our traumas hold us back from moving forward, is what I'm hearing, which I understand. I'm sure Ingrid does as well. And we just have to be willing to take the chance. If it doesn't work the first time, you try it a different way. Every successful person will tell you that. They failed more times than they've ever succeeded. But this is just about you putting your foot in the water, they're saying.
Yep. I love that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And kind of going back to, because you touched on this too, Thomas, just really quickly, like, and this is sort of this feels, I was trying to make a video about this earlier and I didn't pull it off. So I'm going to talk about it now because this is apparently the right place to talk about it. Over the last few months, 6 months or so, I have come into my own in a really powerful way. In the way that I am feeling, Starshine, you are ready to come into your own. You are ready to fully embody like the fullness of you and your experience. That's a journey that I've been really feeling and experiencing and enjoying tremendously. And as a result, what's happened for me, and Thomas is over there nodding too, because he's like, yeah, me too, right? And it's like you begin to speak without censoring yourself. You begin to, speak your truth and share your truth and show up more boldly and more confidently and louder, even in your energy than you ever did before. And Thomas said, like, people, how your energy is doing based on the people who are looking at you. I have the same thing going on, Thomas. I walk out and like in a crowd and I know exactly what my energy is doing by the way people are responding to my energy. So that's going to be happening for you too, Starshine, as you put your foot in the water. And here's what I want to tell you. Your circle will shrink. It will. Mm-hmm. People will vibe out of your life and your experience. I have noticed my social media following in the last 6 months has plummeted. As I have been loving myself and my life more and speaking my truth, my social media followings went tick, 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 tick down. I'm not worried about it. Not in the least. You know why? Because I know that those are the people who are not resonating with me because they were resonating with a piece of me that was inauthentic, that was trying too hard, that was making myself small, that was trying to placate and couch and be nice and do all the things, the conditioned things and conditioned responses. But all of that, and there's been people who have vibed out of my life. Like people who I've been connected to for a very long time, there's a distance there. There's not an energetic match anymore. And that doesn't mean that I don't have love for these people, because an energetic match is not a value judgment. It's just an energetic match, yes or no. So when people vibe out of your life, when you stop caring about what people think about you, there's a temporary reduction, a shrinkage in your circle, because that is opening up space for people who are truly aligned with you. I had one of my friends said it this way. She said, this is the time when you see who's attached to you versus who's aligned with you. That right there, this will show you. So have no fear. This is a really exciting time.
And even with me, I'll just leave with this, Starshine, is that I took shit so personal when people would walk out of my life.
Right, same.
But then I just stopped. I mean, certain people obviously mean the world to me. but I know those people will still be there. And I know I can still call them if I need to. And even if it's like weeks of not talking, we go right back to where we were before. So the important people will stay.
Yes, they will.
And if someone leaves, they'll always be replaced. That came out by somebody else that fits that criteria. Or
Often
whatever
more
else.
than one. More than
Yeah, it
one
could be more
person.
than one. It could be a
Yeah.
lot. It could be a lot.
Yeah.
But thank you, Starshine, for being here. And next up, guys, we still have openings. It is $35 Cosmic Readings and Healings. We have Gail Voigt.
Beautiful Gail. Okay, let me take a minute. Okay, Gail, I am seeing, I close my eyes, I'm seeing a visual of seeing shimmering blue. It's like satin, but that shimmering satin. You know, like satin is smooth, but this is a fabric that's more shimmering and more rough. It's in texture, if you know what I mean. It's this beautiful dark blue, I think it's called a cobalt blue, right? That really dark blue. And it's just absolutely gorgeous and it's got texture. And I feel like what I'm getting from this, I'm feeling energy in the throat. I'm feeling what I get in this is okay, hang on. Slow down. I'm getting a voice now, like I'm hearing a sound that feels smooth and deep and resonant and shimmering. And right now I'm feeling energy in the sacral, deep in the sacral chakra. And I'm getting, this is about nurturing and healing. Darling, you are entering I see a dip. It's not a bad dip. It's like kind of entering a phase, entering a dip where you're needing to really slip into this nurturing mode for the people around you. You're getting even more grounded and really rooting in as people around you, the people who you care about, might be flailing. They might be having a really hard time. And you're meant to be really grounding in very deeply, tapping into that rich, resonant energy that you possess and communicating in a way that is beautiful and tactile. And I just keep hearing the word resonant. Like there's a sound, a deepening of your voice, which becomes very soothing, healing, and grounding for the people around you, is what I'm getting. And you're moving into that arena temporarily. You know how to do that. You always know how to do that. But Spirit is really saying, make sure you listen to the nudge when it's time to sink into that healing space for the people around you, because you're going to really help a few people in your life get through a really difficult time just by being present and holding space, getting grounded and communicating from that place deep in your sacral, which is very maternal, it's feminine, it's healing, it's very all-encompassing, nurturing. That's the word that I'm looking for. It's really nurturing. So that's what I got right off the bat. Let me pull some cards and anchor this in. Okay, yeah. Wait for it. Wait for it. I feel like you're probably not seeing it yet. Let it unfold. Wait for it. Use your intuition in the moment, in the moment, in the moment. It's going to be an in the moment experience. You're not necessarily going to look at the people around you and go, oh, I need to go heal them and march towards them. You're going to be just kind of doing your thing. I just saw you I saw an image of you like in the garden, like tending to plants or something, and that makes a lot of sense because here we have the seven of pentacles. So wait for it. And then it'll be in the moment. Somebody will be in front of you. And I'm seeing a younger woman. So we'll be in front of you and you will just slip into that really grounded space. And I'm hearing, make that person whole. We have the world card here. Make that person whole. You have no idea the impact, the lasting impact that your incredible presence, healing presence is going to have for the people in your life over this next 5 weeks. 4 or 5 weeks, this or next month or so. That's going to be really profound and really important for you to make sure you listen to your intuition and you slip into that. You slip into that role for people.
You have a bunch of runes that are popping up. So I'm going to trace these before I talk. Only to her. Fertility. New beginnings. opening up of pathways of consciousness and enlightenment to better serve what you can walk into. You're going to feel that energy hit you right here. Go. Just go. Thank you. Ganesh is also appearing. So you need to look up what Ganesh does, he's saying. He's a god, Hindu god. Look up Ganesh. He wants to work with you. Your guides have been trying to connect you with Ganesh. And after Ganesh, there's going to be some other beings that come into the picture, I'm seeing. They look extra, they are extraterrestrial. Okay. The galactic, okay, sorry. The cosmic, they keep going higher. So what they're getting at is it will be on one level, reach to another level, to another level. It's stepping, it's one step at a time, they're saying. They're saying it's time is the last person to start something. It scares you, but start something. Like start something, speaking. You're ready. You're more than ready. You have more to add to that, Ingrid?
Just pulled the Six of Wands. Victory, accolades, seen, being seen. Ooh, it is time for you to be seen, girl. Don't run from that.
Gail, we can sit in our own little spaces. Show me a box, like you in a box. Or we can just decide to break the box. It's up to us. They want you to be very masculine. It's time. Move forward, child of God.
Oh.
And mark the pathway that was put in front of you. It's coming from like Metatron. Okay, yeah. So Metatron's talking. Yeah, so just do it. They're saying do it. See what happens. See what happens. Give it time to promote it. I don't know where you're going to have it. Have it at a park if you can. That's what I'm doing. Park. They keep showing parks for some reason. Because they're open spaces and they're free. People like free shit.
People do like free shit.
They like free stuff. So, yeah, so it's free. They'll show up, I'm sure. I mean, he's got to market it good enough. Maybe put out some flyers or something. But yeah, something. And there's someone else that you're friends with that can help you with this as well. I'm here. Like, it doesn't just have to be you. It can be two people. But thank you, Gail. Next up, we have Donna Marcello.
All right. Beautiful Donna. Okay, Donna. Feeling into you and your energy. Good. I'm getting good. This is like spirit coming through and just telling you good. I feel like you're coming out the other side of a really difficult time. I feel like you've had a lot of worry. You've been worrying a lot and you're not anymore. You're feeling in a much more secure, grounded place. You're feeling like you can trust again. And I feel that deep in the belly and deep in the root. And I see you kind of holding your belly like this, but not in like a scared or negative way, just in a, like you really can relax. Like it's been taken care of. It's handled. You don't have to worry anymore. You never really had to worry, but we're humans, so we worry, right? But you don't have to worry anymore. What you've been worrying about, you don't have to worry about anymore. It's been handled. It's been fine. And you can really settle more deeply into yourself, into the moment, into your life. I'm getting it's time to like rest, take a break, focus on doing things for yourself, things that you like. You need to recoup, recalibrate. You need to regenerate. I'm feeling tingling in my third eye. You need to reconnect with spirit, with your spirituality. What would be really good for you is to just stay home, get solitude, work on like kind of getting your home in order, getting your place sort of organized so that you can, when your place is organized, I feel like then you can think clearly. It's kind of like your house is a reflection of your brain. And so when you organize your house, your brain gets organized as well. And it's really strongly connected. Like the state of your home is really strongly connected to the state of your well-being. So getting your home organized is going to be like your spiritual practice for the time being. I'm really getting like you're going to be a homebody for a little while, and that's perfectly okay. You do not need to be going out in the world. I feel like you've been through a lot. You've been really stressed out, and that's coming to an end, and you need to kind of like recalibrate your nervous system. You need to just come home to yourself, and that's all really great and good. And spirit is just assuring you like it's over. It's over. It's okay. It's good. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. And just go ahead and give yourself permission to move slowly. And I'm getting this kind of image, this kind of feeling of like when you just wake up in the morning and you're kind of moving through the morning slowly. It's kind of a slow start to the morning. And you get up and you have like your rituals, like maybe you make your coffee or your tea, or you just need to kind of ease into the day. I'm feeling you're going to need to ease into the next phase of your life. You're like, you really have earned a break, and you are being gifted a break. Don't blow it for yourself. You can stay home, stay alone, get that solitude, do the work you need to do on your home and on your inside so that you can come back out into the world refreshed. And a couple cards fell out. We got the Hermit card, which is retreating into yourself. And we got the 8 of Cups. So you've walked away from something that you tried really hard to fix. You tried really hard to make it work, and you finally decided to walk away, and you get to walk away. It is the right decision to walk away. Now you're able to manifest fully what you want in your life. Okay. You have all the tools you need, you have everything you need. It's time to pick everything up off that table and put it to work for you, not for somebody else, not for some other person. Okay. This is a whole new cycle that you're entering. Take the break that's being offered to you. Okay. Take advantage of the break that's being offered to you and regroup and recharge and get energy for this next cycle, because this next cycle is going to be really nice. Okay. There's going to be a lot of balance, equilibrium. You're going to feel more yourself than maybe you ever have before. So you're in a little bit of an in-between phase. Okay. If you feel a little bit lost, that's okay. That's by design. That's your cue that you need to rest.
They're saying that you need to pray for what you want. Manifestation is simply a way of the universe, you asking God or source, you, whatever word you want to use, for what you want. And you may not know, I'm hearing exactly what it is you want, because a lot of times people with this certain energy structures are saying, are waiting for what the exact thing is that they want. But the exact thing they want, it may not be what you want in 5 years or 5 weeks. It may change. They're saying, pray for what you need now. And put, yes, as Ingrid said, they're saying, put everything in order. Look at what is working in your life and not working in your life. I'm showing a piece of paper. It's almost like what I would tell people that come to me on TikTok about is my ex getting back together with me. And I'm like, okay, get a piece of paper and write down on one side all the bad things and the great things and see how it levels out. And then you have your answer. But what I'm getting at is look at the things that aren't working, because you know what they are, which comes into this card. She feels she knows. And try to start focusing out of that. It's something I've had to do, and it sucks. But it works all in the same. I've noticed in the last week or so, traumatic in some ways for me, but also amazing things have happened from this. All of a sudden, things just start manifesting out of thin air, because I've literally pulled things away from me that don't work anymore, that I've probably had happening since I was like 6 years old, and fix those things. And then all of a sudden it allows for new energy to come in.
Mm-hmm.
You have to move that old energy out for the new energy to come in. Because sometimes we all do this. They're saying we're replaying cycles over and over in our head. It's like an obsessive thought response, like an OCD. It's just going over and over and over and over and over. And they're saying break that cycle within you, because that's going to lead you onto a totally different pathway. And you have some tools available to you. They say you know what you're talking. You know what I'm talking about. But utilizing those tools, as scary as they may be, and as much as it's going to shake you to the foundation of your core, it's still going to change your very reality. Because what I'm seeing outside, because this is part of the reading, it's a window with light, but it's being obscured by the tree, because they keep going to trees. Anyways, but it's being obscured by the tree. So I can only see part of the window. But if I were to walk outside to the fence, I could see the full window and the full picture of what I needed to see. I just need to get that energy out of the way of the tree to see the full picture. And there's some Andromedans that want to help her. Okay, thank you. So we're going to tap you in with the energy of the Andromedans. At least 3 of them, they're saying. 1, 2, 3, now. They're standing around you in a triangle. And will you guys work? Thank you. We're on it. Thank you. Okay, cool. Beautiful.
Done. Easy. No problem.
And take a bath, they're saying. Take a bath and clear your energetic field. Or use salt on yourself or something. And getting a bath will be better if you have a bath, but definitely a salt bath. Get that energy field clear. It's like me going to the beach today and swimming in the ocean. It's full of salt. It's beautiful. Automatic energy cleanse.
Yep.
I felt like insanity before I jumped in that ocean. Anyway, so next up we have Miss Sarah.
Miss Sarah. What?
Sarah, Lames.
All right. Hey, beautiful
More
Sarah.
middle names.
Lamas. Yamas? 2 L's? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Getting good visuals today. The visual I'm seeing for you is this garden of crystals. Like I'm seeing crystals growing out of the ground. And they're super clear and pointy. And that's really interesting. I don't know what that means, but maybe it'll come clear. Okay, what am I feeling in the body here? All right, beautiful. It's time for you to get still. It's very important for you to focus on meditation, on grounding, on that stillness, on coming into your body and getting super present, because you're about to experience a shift and you need focus. Oh, and I'm yawning. Okay, there's spirits coming around you. There's loved ones coming to visit you. I'm getting a female energy, I think. Hang on, what is that? That's slippery. What are you? Hang on. There's spirits in your home. There's ancestors in your home. There's ancestors in your home. These may not be connected to you, though. I feel like these might be connected to your partner or somebody that you live with, husband. I feel like that feeling that very, very strongly. I feel like a mother or a grandmother energy. I think it's more of a grandmother energy, but I don't think it's yours. I think it's your partner's. But these spirits are coming to you because you're opening up to spirit in a new way. You're opening up more to these spirits, more of like your mediumship and channeling capabilities are spontaneously opening up. And that's why you need to get really focused and really still and really serious about your spiritual practice and your meditation, because you're going to want to connect with these spirits, but you don't want them to spin you out. Okay. You have to be super grounded in order to be an effective channeler. You have to be super grounded in order to be an effective channeler. And spirit is asking you, is asking you to explore these channeling abilities. There is a woman who's coming into your room, into your space. I don't know if you have maybe a separate space from your husband or other family members. Maybe you have like an art room, right? I know you're a painter, so I wonder if you have like your own art room. There's some space that's yours that this woman keeps coming in. She's got long, gray, dark hair. It's actually killer hair. It's like really thick hair, but it's dark, but it's got gray in it. And she's thin. She's like, she keeps coming into your room, and you're probably aware of her. I feel like you're aware of something, some kind of energy that's tapping on you. So when we first open up to these gifts, they can feel really hard to control. We can feel like exhausted. We can feel scared. We can feel all these things. So Spirit is saying you need to come into meditation. You need to focus on your breath. You need to get very present. And then you will be able to very clearly communicate with the Spirit who is here for, I believe, it still feels like your husband. It feels like it's for somebody else, but it's kind of somebody in your household. So, yeah, let me pull some cards to anchor this in. But that's what I'm picking up from you really strongly, my dear, which is exciting because channeling and mediumship is fun. And I'm glad that it's happening for you. But it can spin you out when you don't have any guidance and you don't have enough grounding and focus. So I really want you to focus on cultivating that. So the Chariot, the Queen of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Temperance card, along with the Eight of Cups. Okay. So you are, I mean, you're hurtling towards this really fast. You're just being asked to do everything you can to keep your equilibrium and make sure that your mind is strong and focused. Do not let your mind get out of control here. You may or may not stick with this. You may decide this is what you want to do. You may not decide this is what you want to do. The Eight of Cups indicates that there's something you're walking away from, and I'm not very clear what that is. I think you probably know what that is better than I know what that is. But it feels like, you know, when your focus needs to be on you and your mind, keeping that mind straight and narrow, calm, clear, precise. And you do that through breath and you do that through meditation. I'm feeling coughing coming up, so I feel a block in the throat. I feel like that's about trusting yourself and not trusting yourself. You feel like you don't trust yourself in this arena. But this Spirit is coming through really strong. And she's got a really good message for you and the people who are around you. Okay, this is not a negative entity. This is an ancestor is what I'm getting. All right, sweetheart. Hope that makes sense and that is helpful. And if you need more guidance, you know where to find me.
Well, Sarah, I'm going to put up your comment because I was getting your house is haunted. I want you to message me afterwards. I can give you a way to clear your house. It won't be very expensive either, I'm hearing. But I know someone around here. So I had to do this with my own house and my own space, is that sometimes there are certain ghosts and other people that are hanging around that need to be cleared out. Doesn't mean you, of course, there's still spirits and other beings still trying to talk to you, which is good because you have natural mediumship abilities. You did this in Atlantis as well as other planets, and I'm seeing other lifetimes. But however, you want to clear out the ones that don't need to be there anymore because their time is past. I'm hearing to be there, and Ingrid was talking. Their time is past to be there, and they need to be moved on to somewhere else. And you have this ability to do so. Sometimes it doesn't hurt to use a little magic to do something like that. I do it on occasion. So this is something I've walked into in the last 2 months. But the thing is that it's also going to provide a lot more. It's going to change the energy of your space, of your house. It's like Savannah where I live. All these houses are haunted. They're all haunted. I mean, it's crazy the amount of haunted houses I see every day. And no one seems to know it. And sometimes those spirits, I'm not trying to scare you. They're saying you understand what I'm talking about. Sometimes those spirits can actually affect you emotionally or mentally.
Mm-hmm. They can.
Yeah. So it's because they're bored, I'm hearing. They want something to do. And so I can help you get that cleared out pretty easily. They're saying, but just message me if you're not friends with me on Facebook. Just find my profile and message me. But let's send her an angel. Okay, angels today. Okay, so Cassiel. Okay, Cassiel is a real angel. So I'm going to send him in to you, Sarah. So say I accept, and he's going to walk in now. He's appearing as Cassiel from Supernatural because that's how I see him. But he's a badass, they're saying. So anyways, he'll help you out with this too and help clear out some of these beings or ghosts or whatever they are. People sometimes don't realize how many ghosts are in their house.
Right. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Savannah's a graveyard, so they're everywhere here. Like thousands, hundreds of thousands of ghosts around here. But yeah, so that'll help you out. And I'm gonna tap into your heart chakra. Say I accept your tap in and recalibrate light. Okay. Remove. And there we go. And the neighbor's frogs were singing before you too. They were somehow adding something to that. I don't know why. What's up, froggies? Okay. So thank you, Sarah, for being here. And next up we have, just let me check this real quick. How do I get back on my page? Give me a second. Why is it doing that? Thank you. There we go. Next up we have Patricia, and this is for, I believe, her daughter. Give me a second here.
Okay.
The button like went away for a second. Okay. Paid reading for my daughter, Alyssa.
All right, beautiful.
I'll start.
You start.
Your daughter's very psychic, dear. Number one. You already know this. They're saying give it time to grow. She's going to be one of these people like me. Follow your own rhythm. She has to follow her own rhythm, number one. But it may not be right away. You're already starting to notice some things that she's talking about, I'm hearing or seeing. And yeah, and it's they're just giving me the card answers. But freedom from judgment and free to love. So don't judge what's coming through, they're saying. She's having negative experiences. You can send her to someone like me or Ingrid. We can help her with that. But still, I don't know how old she is, they're saying. So, but it wouldn't hurt, they're saying, to put in, to sage her room every once in a while. Maybe add some sweetgrass to that. Just to kind of keep the spiritual traffic to a minimum.
I agree with that. Yeah. Yes. Does that feel complete? Can I go? I'm ready to go.
Well, I do some healing, but I don't know how old she is.
She said, I'm right here high on Patricia's page. So
how old are you, dear? That's all I need to know.
Well, why don't I riff and you get ready for the healing if that's appropriate?
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I was feeling very much what you were feeling too about that. It's more than just a free spirit. Alyssa, you are a person, you must follow the beat of your own drum, and it's not going to look like anybody else's. And I feel like you're going through a hard time right now as well. I was really feeling that. I saw you kind of doubled over, like going through a really difficult time. And the reason is because you are in a raging internal battle between what you perceive is expected of you and what it is you want to do with this life, how it is you want to live your life. And it is hard work to bust out of that like conditioning, that perception of what is expected of you. And it's nobody's fault. It's not that anybody said, I don't feel like anybody sat you down and said you have to do it this way. It's this cultural expectation that we all absorb. And you are such a free agent by nature that it is painful for you to conform. But it's also painful for you to bust out of that conformity, because we're also human and we're tribal, and there's a piece of us that feels like we're going to die if we're not part of the pack and we don't fit in. So you got all these different pieces kind of roiling inside you is what it feels like to me. And you are needing to bust out of that and follow the beat of your own drum. It will get easier and easier. You will get to the place where you feel more and more confident, but you're kind of going through a bit of a rough time right now because of that internal battle that you've got running. I was really in agreement with Thomas. I'm going to pull some cards. We got the 5 of Cups here, which is not an easy card. This is about grief, and allowing yourself to grieve. I mean, you are grieving pieces of yourself. You're grieving, pieces like a life that you kind of thought you were on track for. You're realizing you're not on track for it. And yet you can sense, you can see, you intuitively know that there's something amazing for you. But then we have another 5 here, the 5 of Swords, which is change. It's difficult. Your mind is going to work on you with all this. You have to be honest with yourself, and you have to cut the cords. You just have to cut it off. You have to be who you are. You have to be who you are and live your life on your terms, like a Thomas. All right, Thomas has to live his life on his terms, or he suffers. And that's the same for you. You have to live life on your terms. So that's what I'm pulling through for you, is like you're going through a difficult time of struggle and internal struggle and upheaval, because you are coming to terms inside of you. You're coming to terms with the fact that you're really different, and you want different things than almost everybody, and you're entirely unique. And it's very scary to be a unique person in a world full of conformists.
They won't write this down, dear. You may have to go back and. His name's Mooji. It's Mooji. Mooji. You'll find him on YouTube. So they won't repeat it again. Mooji. He is an African American male. He's lots of dreadlocks. Anyways, he's not super like big like a lot of these people, because he's not all clickbaity, but he's legit, is my point. So when you find, that's where they want you to start. Because the people you'll find in the future, if it's going to be someone that's going to help you, you need to be discerning and look at them like Mooji would look at them. If that makes sense. So you're going to look for the same kind of energy signature that reminds you that it's like that. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of, I just say it, there's a lot of false prophets out there. But that's all up to interpretation for everyone. Even a false prophet can help somebody. I don't know why they're speaking like the Bible and Ganesh. Now it's Ganesh instead of Anubis. Anyways, but the point is that yeah. Look up Mooji. You'll find a centeredness in what he's saying and within yourself. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you, dear. I didn't need to do healing this time, but I can if you want to schedule with me, but that's up to you.
Great.
ThomasSawyerChannel, and Ingrid has her site as well, IngridHturner.com. And next up, I believe we have soul treats. We have soul treats.
Soul treats. All right. Me first? You first? Who first?
You first.
Me first. Okay. Ooh, okay, interesting. I'm feeling block in my throat, and all the energy is shoving into my head. It's getting shoved into my head. There's a lot of excitement in there. Oh, I see the World and the Empress card popping out along with the Devil. Holy cow. And the Judgment. Holy crap, girl. 4 major arcana cards. So you have, this is a big step you're taking. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of information. There's a lot rolling around in your head. It might feel really overwhelming. So don't be afraid to not take a break. That's not what I'm saying. You don't need to stop, but take a step slowly. Take the next step slowly. If you need to take a next step slowly, that's completely okay. You're going to want to work with some of that energy that's all up in your head and redistribute it down into your body, really ground yourself in. This is a big deal. It's going to be a lot of work, okay? It's going to be a big step for you. It's going to bring you into a sense of wellness and abundance. There's going to be like a global impact. I mean, the Empress and Judgment. Look at that. Everything's coming to light is what I just heard. The World, but then the Devil. So you're going to have your human experience with this next phase of your life, with this next step. There's going to be some stops and starts and difficulties and interpersonal stuff that happens. And that's okay, because it is the human experience. There's no, you can't build something without sweating, without banging your finger with a hammer occasionally, without, being exhausted at the end of the day. It's going to be hard work. There's going to be the human experience, as well as this incredible, spiritual, abundant, communal experience that you're working towards. Right now, I feel like you have a lot of overwhelm. A lot of the energy is in the head. And I feel like I'm actually starting to get a little bit of a headache as I'm tapping into your energy. So I want you to what you want to do, here's how I would tell you to redistribute that energy. Take the energy in your head, make yourself aware of it. And then with your breath, pull it down to your throat, and then pull it down to your heart, and then pull it down to your power center, and pull it all the way down through your chakra system. Take a breath. Check in with the energy in your head. If there's still a lot of stuff up there, continue to pull it down and redistribute it in your body, because you want to really ground this in so that you can take that next step. You can take it slowly, but that next step needs to be taken, but you can take it slowly. All right, darling? It's a killer time for you to be alive. Now, interestingly, I've got all these amazing cards for you, and I got 2 5s on the top and the bottom of the deck that I just pulled. So 2 5s tell me one of them is reversed. Okay, 2 5s tell me that this is a time of real change for you. This big change is happening. You're going to have to make sure anything that comes up emotionally, that the emotional healing that needs to happen, don't avoid it, because it's going to be required of you to step into the light, was what I just heard. Step into the light, to sort of step into this new realm. And this one, the 5 of Pentacles, you see it's kind of like potentially like some money issues, but it came out reversed. So I feel like, I don't usually read reversals, but Spirit is telling me to read this reverse. And the way I would interpret a reversed 5 of Pentacles is a change in your money situation for the better, because it's a 5. Change in your money and your financial situation for the better. Big abundance energy here and hard work. But that's okay, because you don't mind hard work, not in the least.
There's a place you need to visit. I keep wanting to say like the crystal caves of Santoria or Santeria or Santa something. They're saying the crystal caves of Santa something. Could be like Santorium. They're saying ask your guides to take you there. They know the way. You've stored energy there, or your higher self or your monadic self. I'm just channeling. Is some part of yourself has stored energy. Your future self, possibly. I'm getting more of a hit with that. Yes. So your future self. They say you understand this. So your future self has gone and come back and stored energy there for you. It's in another dimension or a plane of existence. Also, they're saying discernment is key with a lot of people around you. But did they say just move on from that? I just had to say that one statement. People will change. They're also saying, so whatever. You get my point with that. Also, there's what is this? It's like the energy. If I were to draw a picture, which I'm not, it's gonna be horrible, of you right now, there's like different energetic not cords, energy. It's coming out. It's not spiking, which is good, but it just looks like energy in the form of cords, but it's not like negative or anything. But it's coming out all around you, almost like a porcupine, is what I'm saying. And that's one of the reasons they had Ingrid tell you to anchor in this energy, because it's messing with some things. In the throat chakra, the heart is saying left shoulder. I don't know if you're having issues with that. That's what they're feeling. Okay. So this is how I was taught soul treats. Is that things that are going to happen? Ooh, throat. Let me handle that in a second. So my throat chakra almost shut down. So things in our field, there's things that are above our field that could happen. I'm just going to send in a Black Panther. Okay. A Black Panther to help with that so it removes it out of anything that doesn't need to be in your field. They say you know what I'm talking about, so I don't have to explain it, over-explain it. But now, Black Panther energy. That's better. Thank you. You may want to look up what a Black Panther means. Oh, I get it. Thank you. So I was told this, so they're having me tell you. It's not always a direct route. Sometimes it's like the Black Panther stalks, waiting. He stalks. He's just waiting. It's like a cat. He's walking around stalking, like looking at everything before he acts. Like, does this work? Does this work? How can I do this? How can I do that? Planning it out. Which you're strategic like that, so you know what you're doing anyway. So looking at it like that, so you can further move into what it is that's the next step, because there's going to be many opportunities that present themselves. They're saying don't overextend yourself, because there's going to be a lot more than you think. And this revolves more around you, is what I'm hearing. This will trigger you, dear. Don't be mad at me. I'm seeing a stage. I'm saying you might be up front or you might be behind the person. The choice depends upon you. Well, whichever way you choose to go is up to you. There's no right or wrong with this. But it's almost there. It's saying about a year or two. But it could happen faster depending on the timelines that are happening at this time. It's channeling really fast. And the timeline shifts and the dimensionals and paradoxes and blah, 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 blah. Aliens, they keep going on. But you get my point. But just remember, you're helping clear the path for other people. And give yourself, they're saying they understand how much you are doing. So keep going with that because it's helping. But don't burn yourself out in the process. And I keep seeing a dude. I just have to fucking say it. I'm sorry, damn it. I keep seeing a guy, just like I did probably months ago. But I keep seeing a dude. And I keep seeing intimacy. Good way to say that. I keep seeing intimacy. And I see you being very happy. I'm seeing you holding hands, walking down a cold beach. And you know what beach I'm talking about. So I'm getting very nervous talking about this. But the point is that you'll be very happy, I'm hearing. In many ways. I hope that helped you, Soul Treats. I have to do more healing this thing. So I'm just going to open my hand. No, just to hurt. Recalibrate light. Whew, shit. Okay. A lot of energy. Let me just recheck this PayPal. Thank you, Soul Treats, for being here.
Thank you.
As always, highly appreciated. Of course. I believe we are complete.
Sounds good. I'm thrilled. That was really fun. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm Thomas Sawyer with ThomasSawyer.com, and this is
Ingrid Turner, IngridHTurner.com on the World Wide Web, and I'm all over social media. Same handle, Ingrid H. Turner. Please feel free to friend me on Facebook or follow my page or both. You can find me on TikTok, find me on Instagram, all the places. I want to be your friend everywhere.
So you find me on TikTok at ThomasSawyer777. And if you get any messages on Facebook from anybody, it is not me asking for $40 readings. It says I live in Boston, which I don't. I'm going to have to put a stop to that. I'm sure the scammers may even be listening right now, I'm hearing. But I will be prepared. Anyways, so I already know exactly what I need to do. But the point is that it's not me. I have a website, ThomasSawyer.com. So you don't need to post on my page. Anyways, thank you though. I appreciate it for telling me.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you everyone for being here. You have a beautiful night.
Bye all.
Peace.